We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Hello, my crafty friends. I sure hope you're having a fabulous day. My name is Robyn Pitts with Sir Chauncey Rocco Creative Designs. Welcome to the June installment of the Christmas All Year Collab hosted by Betty from Scrap Passion 01. This is a year-long initiative. Please feel free to join as we post new projects every second Sunday of the month, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For my project today, I've created these two beautiful easel card withdrawals. I'm going to give you an overview of these projects and then I'll show you how to make it step by step. To make these cards, I used a digital file by My Scrap Chick called the Square Bracket Easel Card, and the drawer I created by hand. I used two different papers for this collection. The first is Graphic 45 St. Nicholas. This is really fun and a traditional Christmas theme. I also used the Stamperia Pink Christmas. These are available at ASC Craft Supplies. They have two retail locations. You can visit them on their Etsy store or on the web. Also, feel free to use my discount code ROBYN10, that's all in capital letters, to receive a discount upon checkout. For my first project, I wanted to create a shabby chic vintage Christmas, and I love the way this turned out. On the top, I used my Sizzix poinsettia die to create this layered poinsettia in the back. I used a number of chipboard pieces from the Stamperia Pink Christmas collection. This frame has several different layers, and in the center you can see Santa Claus on his sleigh. On the right of the easel, I've used more of these fun chipboard pieces, and then I've brought out the blues in this paper collection with this beautiful blue rose. Here's another poinsettia. In the center, I have a rhinestone pink pearl, and then these beautiful floral sprays throughout. I just love the way that looks. On the bottom of the easel, we have this little stop here that says joy, and I have that layered with another piece of the chipboard and these beautiful pink pearls. On the bottom, we have this drawer, and I've used this beautiful bead as a handle, and I can open this up. And what I plan to include in here are small mini albums, and I will show you that in a separate video. But isn't this beautiful? I love this blue and pink paper. And this is very sturdy, although I did not use chipboard. This is all created using 110-pound cardstock. So let me give you a side view. This is what it looks like on the side. This is the back. And here on the bottom, you could put an additional sentiment if you like. The great thing about this card is that it folds down flat, so you can easily wrap this up and send it as a Christmas gift. Let me show you the bottom. I did use these faceted pink beads as the feet. Let me give you a closer view of this project. I just love this pink detail. And look at those beautiful floral sprays here on the bottom. Here's that beautiful bead detail. The second project that I've created is in a much more traditional Christmas theme. I use this Graphic 45 St. Nicholas paper. This is also made out of 110-pound cardstock, and the base is in black. On the top here we have this velvet ribbon with these wooden candy canes. I've used a variety of chipboard and ephemera from the paper collection. And I love the way this frame is. You can see all of these wonderful layers and the different textures of the paper. And in the center we have St. Nicholas that is holding a toy puppet. On the side I have outlined the frame with this red rhinestone trim. We've got this poinsettia here on the bottom, some white roses and winter greens in the back. I also have this glittered star here, and then a postage stamp from the paper collection, and then we have a little envelope here and a large gem. On the bottom for the stopper it says Season's Greetings, and I have that embellished with these green pearls, and then we have more of this rhinestone trim surrounding the perimeter
of the box. This is what the side looks like. This is such a pretty floral design, and that's contrasted by this pretty plaid pattern on the top. For the handle, I used a Graphic 45 brass draw pull, and that just comes out just like so. Again, I do plan to include mini albums in these drawers, and then I also use brass feet on the bottom. This is a side, and this is the back. Now that I've given you an overview of both of these easel card drawers, I'm going to gather my materials to show you how easy it is to make. I'll be right back. I've gathered the materials to make our easel card with drawer. The paper collection we're using is by Stamperia, and it's called Pink Christmas. This is a beautiful shabby chic collection. I'm also going to be using the die cuts that come with the Pink Christmas paper collection, and I took the top off of this bag just so you could see how many die cuts are in it. These are really nice quality weight chipboard die cuts. We're also going to be using a digital file by My Scrap Chick. This is their square easel bracket card. You've seen me use this a few times before. However, we're going to be using it in conjunction with the draw that we're going to be making, and together they will make a lovely Christmas present. You'll receive this piece, and I've cut this out on 110-pound cardstock. You'll have this layer, and attached to the layer, I've also added in one of the matting layers. Now this matting layer is this blue here, and comes with a little square in the center. That's where you put your image. You could put a greeting, you could put a photo. I chose to use one of the cut-aparts from the paper collection to include this Santa. This image is much larger, but I've cut it down and allowed just enough space to glue it to the back of this piece here. You'll also have 3 additional layers for the card, and they will be aligned just like so. And you'll notice as I attach each of these layers, you start to see a little tunnel going into the Santa. Each of these layers, I have foam dots on the back of them. Before we glue this piece down, we're going to glue this piece to the front of the card. So this is the card. I've folded along the score lines. I've also added in some matting layers. So this will be the inside of my card, and we're going to glue the bottom of this card to this piece here. So it's going to be attached just like so, and this will make the easel component. So let's glue that on now. Now that we have the front of our easel card attached, let's look at the inside. In your file, you will receive this piece, and it's flat on the top. You'll also need a piece for this area here. Now, this is not included. However, I have a quick tip. I took this piece and I simply cut it in half where the little points are, and that makes this piece right here. Now, the one thing you want to do, though, is when you cut this piece, you want to flip it in Cricut Design Space so that your paper will be facing the right way. So you see the curve goes up here and then out, just like it does here on the bottom. Okay, so you want to cut another layer of this paper with the straight edge on the top, and then you want to cut it in half, and that will give you the exact dimension you need to cover this area. So now let's begin adding the layers on the front of the card. The blue layer is the widest layer. The next layer I have in this pretty rose pink. I have this pink layer here, and then I have this layer on top. Now, when you glue these down, you want to make sure that each piece is centered on the layer beneath it. And you'll see that there's a nice border all around, and also framing the Santa. So glue down each of these layers, and then we'll be back to finish decorating. Now that I have all of the layers on the front of the card, let's turn this around. We're going to put a piece here and then a piece of paper here. And just like we did for the inside of this card, we're going to take this piece, we're going to cut it in half, and then we will have a piece that goes here and here, and that's what I've done here. So I've cut this piece. This is going to fit right on the top, and this is going to fit on the bottom. Okay, so let's glue that in now. Now that our easel card is complete and I have glued on the layers on the back and front, all we need to do now is glue on the stopper. But I'm going to do that once I've glued this onto the base. So let's set this aside. You'll need 2 6x6 pieces of cardstock. I'm using a heavyweight cardstock that's 110 pounds. You'll also need 2 pieces that measure 7 by 8.5. You're going to score on the 8.5 inch side at 1.5. And then you're going to score on the 7-inch side at 1.5. So you're scoring 1.5 inches on all 3 sides. And you want to do that for both pieces. And then you'll also need a square that measures 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. You're going to score 1 3/8 on all 4 sides. So let's set this aside, and then we're going to work with these 2 pieces. These 2 pieces are going to create the actual box that holds the drawer. What we want to do for this piece is we're going to cut on these score lines right up to the first score line. Now I've already gone ahead and folded along the score lines and burnished. I'm just going to taper the edges here, and then I want to cut a little triangle just so that the box will fold more easily. And I'm going to do that again here. Cut a little triangle out, and then taper the sides. I'm going to go ahead and do that for the other piece. Now that we have these pieces cut along the score lines, what we're going to do is make a little box. And we're going to glue these pieces together just like so. Okay, so we're going to do that on both sides. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll be back to work on the square. Now we have this piece complete. You want to take the second piece, which you've already scored and mitered, and this is going to be put on top just like so. Okay, and this is going to create the holder for the drawer. And all we have to do is glue on these tabs in the back, then this tab, and then you want to glue on these sides. Okay, so let's do that now. So I have the glue on this piece. I'm just going to fit it on just like so. Fold these tabs in, and then just burnish the sides. Okay, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and make sure that they are tightly secured on all sides. Okay, so there is our box. Now we want to create a box to go inside our drawer. And to do that, we're simply going to cut along the score marks just like we did before. Cut a little triangle, and then we're going to taper the edges. We're going to do that on all 4 sides. Okay, and then you want to fold and burnish on all of the score lines. And just like we did for this box, we're going to glue these tabs together. We're going to go ahead and do that on all 4 sides. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and then we'll be back to finish assembling our drawer. Now that we have our boxes complete, we have the drawer and the outer shell. This is going to go in just like so. We need to create the mats. So the mats for the inner box will be the following. You'll have the first mat at 1 3/8 by 5 3/8, and then you'll have a decorative mat at 1 1/8 by 5 1/8. And that's going to go on the outside as well as the inside. You'll need to cut 2 pieces that measure 5 1/4 by 5 1/4, and the decorative mat will be 5 by 5. And 1 piece will go in the bottom of the box. The other piece will go on the bottom of the inside shell. You'll also need mats for the shell that measure 5 1/4 by 1 1/4, and the decorative mat is 5 inches by 1 inch, and that's going to go around the perimeter. And then you'll need to include 2 pieces on the inside here. And last but not least, we have these two pieces, which we're going to save for last. This is 6 by 6, and the decorative mat is 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. This is going to go on the top and the bottom of the drawer, just like so. Okay, so let's put these pieces aside, and then we're going to glue on the inner mats and the side panels for the drawer, as well as for the shell, and then I'll be right back. Now that we have all of the matting layers on our drawer, we are going to add the top and the bottom layers. Okay, so you want to center the drawer right in the middle, and there should be a nice little border, and you're going to center the top panel on top of the box, just like so. Once we glue that into place, we're going to add our easel card. Okay, and you want to center that on the top panel. So go ahead and glue these pieces down, and then we will be back to decorate. I have glued on the easel card to the top of the drawer, and I've also added in the stopper. I have also added on these beads to be the feet for the drawer. I'm going to decorate this and then add a handle to the front of the drawer, and then I'll be back with the final reveal. This is my completed easel card drawers. I love the way these turned out. I think these are such a beautiful presentation and also a wonderful last minute Christmas present. This concludes my review of my easel card drawers. Hopefully I've inspired you with new and creative ideas. If you like this video, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye for now, happy crafting, and Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a